Okay, hello again, and today we're going to tie this little soft hackle nymph. I tied this for stalking rainbows out of still waters, you know, going around looking for those bigger fish to try and stalk out, and when you sort of jig this off the rod tip up and down, there's loads of movement in it, and it's actually been really successful for me. It's also a very good grayling fly. So it's quite quick to tie. There's a few nice sort of techniques in there. So let's put a new hook in the vise, and this is a size 12 curved shank hook, and the thread is UTC, and it's in olive, and it's a 140. So we're going to start the thread, mind that bead out of the way, right up near the bead to kind of lock that bead in place, and then we're going to run the thread down just round the bend. And there, I'm going to put a bit of wax on the thread, and I'm going to tie in a flat silver tinsel, and I'm going to tie that on to the top of the shank. And this is a proper tinsel. You've got to be a little bit careful with it because you can't bend it too much because it does break, and that is quite annoying when that happens. Now we're going to dub onto the thread some hare's mask fur, and again it's just literally that, all the fur that I've picked and shaved off of a hare's mask. It's great dubbing, it's easy to dub on, it's great effect in the water. So move that out of the way. We're going to run my thread down in open spirals, and right at the base we're going to start that thread, lock it in. Whoops, it's just not behaving himself. If it's not behaving themselves, then just manhandle it a bit, and then we want, no, I'm not happy with that. If you're not happy, always go back. You know, there's nothing wrong with going back. I don't know whether I've said this before in previous videos, but if you're not happy with the fly, you'll never tie it on. And what I mean is, you know, you'll be fishing, you'll open your box, you'll never pick that fly to tie on because you weren't 100% happy with it when you tied it. So you almost just as well throw it in the bin. So if something happens like that and you're just not happy with it, just go back and do it again. You can see how quick that was for me to just unwind it and wind it again, and then we can work on the shape. So we've got that nice tapered shape coming from, just check your side a minute, there's a little bit of a doodah I don't like there, there you go. Going from nice and skinny near the back end of the fly, going up to thicker at the thoracic area. Then we'll come around with the rib, and again be careful with this stuff because a true tinsel will snap on you, giving it half a chance. Come up, 3 or 4 is plenty. Just going to adjust that a little bit there. There we go. Just thinking about the shape, thinking about your spacing. On that last turn, follow up with the thread, put a 90-degree bend into the wire, couple of wraps in front, and then you'll see how easy this breaks. I'm just going to wiggle it. There we go. Just nicely snaps off. I'm going to add some wax on the thread, and I'm just going to tidy this area up because I need to tie a hackle on there, and I want it to be nice and smooth and nice and flat. You'll make life easier for yourself. Now, for the hackle, this is just a really cheap, I can't remember if it's, I think it might be a Chinese cape, but it's a really cheap one. It's a little grizzly coloured rooster cape, and we want a feather to be, you want the kind of fibres to be a little bit longer than the gape of the hook. So I can choose my feather there. I'm just going to check. There you go. I'm happy with that. Happy with the length. I'm going to take off, strip some fibres from the bottom. Just going to trim it so the torque is flatter for me. Now, can you see there's a bend in that? There's a curvature in the feather. I want that curvature to be facing the eye of the hook. So I'm going to tie it in that way. Okay, make sure you got wax on the thread. Grab that stem, catch it in, Pull it in nice and tight and then come round. And there, can you see the curvature of the feather is facing the eye of the hook. Now, normally I do this with my fingers, but it's going to be easier for you to see if I do it with hackle pliers. So I'm going to pop some hackle pliers on the front of the, at the top end of the feather there. You've got to be gentle with this, but we're going to come around. We're going to use virtually all that feather up. There's 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. Oh, I get 4 turns out of it. Then follow the thread up with the feather, same as we tie everything in. Lock it in, take off your hackle pliers, keeping the thread nice and tight. You let that thread go slack and it'll all go wrong, trust me. 1, 2, lock it in. I'm going to pull everything back with my fingers and I'm going to come around a couple of turns and I'm going to take the point off and just snap it off. And then we're going to build a nice olive collar behind the bead. And I'm going to, as per usual, varnish the thread, right? Take the whip finish tool. There we go. And then we're going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4's plenty. Keep the thread tight, bring the tool back down, tighten her all up. And come in with my scissors, trim, and there we have it. Just have a look at your side. Have a little, there we go. I'm happy with that. There it is. Like I said, I just call it my soft hackle nymph. But there's a few little cool techniques in there that are kind of fun to do. And it catches fish, believe me. When I started fly tying, I was experimenting, tying all sorts of things. I wonder what would happen if I did this, and I wonder what it would move like if I put this on there. And some of them worked, and believe me, some of them didn't. A lot of flies went in the bin, you know. But this one works. This one works really well. You can cast it and you can pull it back towards you, and the hacker will pulsate. Or like I said, it's most effective jigged in front of the fish, just vertically, just sort of up and down, you know. So it's like the fishes going up and down there. Cool little dubbing needle. Anyway, I'm waffling again. So there's the fly. Thanks for watching again. And if you're enjoying these videos that I'm doing, it would really help me out if you just subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, with a little thumbs up, you know. And because I am going to do a lot more of these in the future. So yeah, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.